Hey guys, man on this side once again and welcome to another new video where today we are going to talk about a completely different topic, that is how to structure your ROAS deals. Yes, in the last video I have like discussed about how you can get the ROAS deals and even hybrid deals as well, but today in this video we are going to talk about if you are going only ROAS deals, right? So how you are going to structure them, right? So if you are somebody who want to get high ticket clients, then this video is going to be super duper important for you. Do not skip any part of this video, and if you are ready, then let's start. So point number one, why I prefer ROAS based clients and where do I prefer? It is not that I always prefer ROAS based clients, because this is completely based on your skills, right? So yeah, the number one reason why I tell people to do or go for ROAS deals is where you are having a low ticket client. Say for example, uh, like people who are making only $5,000 per month with their store, and you believe that if they run ads you can give them a 5 6 7x ROAS, right? And that is a big amount. So if you believe that you can give them that much huge ROAS if they run ads, then obviously you should go to close the client. But the problem is that if you want to charge them higher, say for example 1000 plus, that is $1,500 or $2,000, they're not going to give you that amount. Why? Because they that is a major portion of their revenue, right? And that is the reason I always prefer on those type of scenarios to go for ROAS deals. So here you can go on the sales call and you can believe that you can give at least 5 6x ROAS. So you can go and tell that, hey Mark or hey Steve, whoever the prospect is, that I believe that I can boost your store's revenue and give you 5x ROAS, right? And after running ads, and for that I am not going to charge you any flat fee. Rather, I will charge you on a ROAS basis. Say for example, whatever ROAS I give you, that is whatever amount I make for you, and whatever the ad spend is, if we just deduct that from this, right, the surplus, that is the profit, I'll charge, say for example, 10% of that, right? And try to understand this scenario, that if the client is spending $2,000 or $3,000 on ads with you and you're giving at least 6x ROAS, so that will be 15 to $18,000, right? And say for example, if you are making them 18,000 and spending 3,000, that is a $15,000 profit. You can easily charge 10% of that, that is $1,500, and that will be a high ticket client, just because you are smart enough to charge a ROAS deal instead of leaving that client because they cannot pay you $1,500 in flat fee, right? So again, here comes the point number two. You have to remember that this is a completely skill based thing. You have to remember that if you don't have the confidence or the capacity to give them a higher ROAS of at least 5x or more, then it will be very much difficult scenario for you to actually make money out of that. Because if you are giving, say for example, anywhere around 3x ROAS, so they are spending 3,000, you are giving them 9,000 in return, so that will be 6,000 in between profit, and the amount that they will pay you only $600. That is not a high ticket client, that is in the range of mid ticket client. So again, this is a complete skill based thing. So if you have the skills, you can make even more money. Say for example, if they're spending $10,000 with you and you're giving $100,000 of a sale, that is a $90,000 profit, right? And you charge 10% of that ROAS, you get $9,000 for one client. Yeah, this thing obviously can happen, not with maybe e-commerce, but with real estate or this kind of solar roofing industry. That is also an SMMA, right? So yeah, that is also possible. So say for example, if you are charging 10% ROAS deal, and you said that they spend 10,000 with you and you generate a bunch of leads, and eventually they end up closing 90,000 dollars or even $100,000 that month, and that will be a ROAS of 10x and you can get crazy amount of money, $8 to $9,000 from one single client, right? So again, skill based thing, but can give you more money, and that is why I prefer ROAS deals sometimes, right? Now let's move on to our point number 3, that is service fees. Again, when you are going with somebody who is just starting ads, right, then there I recommend to have at least something as an onboarding or service fees. Why is that? And a lot of people have told me that, hey Manav, you just said in your last video, I recorded the last video about ROAS deals. So a lot of people said to me that, hey Manav, what if the client don't want to continue after the first month? We have invested so much amount of time, and also we have created a lot of copywriting, like ad copies and ad creatives. So all those efforts go into vain without even getting a good amount of money for the deal, right? So for that thing, what I believe is that you always should charge a little amount of fees, in terms of, you can say that, onboarding fees or first time charges or something like that. If the client is not running ad previously, if they are running ad previously and they're shifting to your agency, then it is okay, because you always get the ad copy ready, ad creative ready, and all the other stuff ready. But if they are starting their ads journey with you and you have to create the ad copies, you have to create that creatives, that takes a lot of effort and time as well, right? So for that, to make sure that you don't end up losing that client within the first month, because again, ROAS deals are paper sale or paper ROAS. That is, if you don't give them higher ROAS, they can leave and they don't pay you higher amount. Say for example, you make like $300-$400 only for that client, and you put a lot of effort creating those ad copies, ad creatives, right? So I always prefer charging at least $300 to $500 as an onboarding fee. That will actually eventually give you a freedom to either doing creating those stuff, that is ad creatives and ad copies, manually, or you can outsource that stuff to any freelancer or something like that, and you can pay the money from that onboarding fees, not from your pocket, right? And that is the reason that I tell them to actually be more transparent on the call and say that, as you are starting the ads journey with me, I have to create all this stuff, and if we eventually end up not doing or not continuing this partnership or deal from the next month onwards, it will be my loss, because I have to pay the copywriter and the graphic designer from my pocket, right? So they will try to understand, obviously. So that is the one thing that you should keep in mind, that if the person is starting ads with you for the very first time and he have not run ads anytime before, you have to charge a little bit of onboarding fees to actually make it worth, right? If you are very much confident that you can give them a higher ROAS and they will be happy and continue the deal, then it is okay. But again, on my channel, most of those people who watch my videos, they want to start their journey, or they want to they are at a medium stage of their expertise, right? So there that much amount of confidence maybe they don't have, right? Maybe you don't have, right? So yeah, it's always on the safer side to charge a little bit of onboarding fees if the client is starting their ads for the very first time, right? So with that, let's move on to the next point. So if you are charging, if the client is just starting out for the first time, you are charging a flat fee and ROAS based deal. So how you're going to take the money? So the first thing you have to understand that the service fee or the flat onboarding fee that I just told, you have to collect it on the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the month. And why is that? Because you have to spend, you maybe have to spend some money from that part, and you should not risk it to pay you out of your pockets, right? So always charge any flat fee or any service fee at the very beginning of the month, and the ROAS fee at the end of the month, after they have done through all the sales, and they have calculated what is their net revenue and net profit for that month. And then you can charge, send them the invoice for the ROAS deal, right? And how can for SMMA who are doing e-commerce, it is very much easy to understand the ROAS. But for all the other deals real estate and solar roofing, how can you guys know that how much amount of deals they are closing? They can give false statement to you that we don't have closed that much amount or something like that. So what I recommend is to get a viewer only access on their Stripe or whatever their payment collection method is, so that you can understand that how much amount of money is coming on that particular account. And also having at least, if they are not giving you the Stripe access, get the access of the CRM, viewer only access of the CRM, that they can share with you. If they don't share that means there is a trust issue, and I never recommend doing business with people who don't trust you. right? There's a big no. So again, that is the thing. You take the service fee at the beginning of the month, you take the ROAS fee at the end of the month, right? That is point number 4. Let's move on to the last point of this video. That is for the ROAS invoice. A lot of people ask, like, Manav, whether should I send the invoice only, because like I'm not stating how much money they have generated or something like that, right? They have to calculate, or what is the process, right? So I always say them that if you are running an e-commerce agency, just do a quick Loom video about like how much ad spend they have done through the month, how much revenue they have generated, what is the ROAS, right, and what is the profit, and then you mention that this is the ROAS we have generated, and according to that, this is our ROAS based fee, and then you send the invoice, right? Again, for the same thing for the real estate or solar roofing or all these other lead gen SMMA agencies, you get the access of the CRM, right? You know how many deals they have closed. Just ask them about the pricings. If you have the Stripe access, that is good, if you don't have the Stripe access, just ask them about how much they have made. Obviously, you can just ask for statement from their Stripe, and there will be the names of the prospect who have converted. You can see them inside the CRM, so they can give you any false statement, right? It will be completely genuine, right? And then you can see that how much is the ROAS, like how much is the ad spend and how much you have generated, minus that with the ad spend, then you understand how much is the profit, and you, like, as per your deal, say for example 10%, 7%, you just send them the invoice, and that is the process, right? Obviously, always try to convey the key parameters, that is ad spend, the ROAS, the revenue generated, and what is the percentage that you charge, right? So give them all this data, and I always recommend giving them at least a weekly reporting of what is going on with the ad campaigns, and so that you can actually be in the good books of them, right? They can understand that you're giving the good results, giving the good number of leads, and they will be more than happy to pay you higher ticket if you actually are giving them the opportunity to make more money, because you help them to make more money, they will pay you more. That is the logic, that is the reason why I prefer pay per result deals. But again, if you are not that much confident, you can go with the hybrid model I have talked in the past videos, right? Go and check out those videos on my channel, or I'll try to link those on the cards, right? So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. And if you have liked the content, just give this a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, because I upload this kind of client getting and SMMA strategies video every single week on this channel, and the like and subscribe gives a lot of motivation to me, right? So with that said, Manav this side signing off. Bye bye.